Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fantastic. And today, as usual, we're going to continue with Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. It's going to be the third part of the fifth chapter of the third book, so let's get started. It is not only vices of the soul that are voluntary, vices of the body are also voluntary for some people, and we actually censure them. For we never censure someone if nature causes his ugliness, but if his lack of training or attention causes it, we do censure him. The same is true for weakness or maiming, for everyone would pity someone, not reproach him, if he were blind by nature because of a disease or a wound, but would censure him if he is heavily drinking or some other form of intemperance made him blind. Hence, bodily vices that are up to us are censured, while those not up to us are not censured. If so, then in the other cases also the vices that are censured will be up to us. But someone may say that everyone aims at the apparent good and does not control how it appears, but, on the contrary, his character controls how the end appears to him. We reply that if each person is in some way responsible for his own state of character, he is also himself in some way responsible for how the end appears. Suppose, on the other hand, that no one is responsible for acting badly, but one does so because one is ignorant of the end, and thinks that this is the way to gain what is best for oneself. In that case, one's aiming at the end is not one's own choice. One needs a sort of natural, inborn state of sight to judge finally and to choose what is really good. Whoever by nature has this sense, in a fine condition has a good nature, for according to this view, this sense is the greatest and finest thing, given that one cannot acquire it or learn it from another, but its natural character determines one's latter condition. And when it is naturally good and fine, that is true and complete good nature. If all this is true, then surely virtue will be no more voluntary than vice, for how the end appears is laid down by nature or in whatever way, for the good and the bad person alike. They trace all the other things back to the end in doing whatever action they do. Let us suppose then that nature does not make the end appear, however, it appears to each person, but something also depends on him. Alternatively, let us suppose that how the end appears is natural, but virtue is voluntary because the virtuous person does the other things voluntary. In either case, vice will be no less voluntary than virtue, for the bad person, no less than the good, is responsible for his own actions, even if not for how the end appears. Now the virtues, as we say, are voluntary, for in fact we are ourselves in a way jointly responsible for our states of character, and the sort of character we have determines the sort of end we lay down. Hence the vices will also be voluntary, since the same is true of them. Alright, guys, so we're done with another part of this chapter, and we're gonna continue on the final part, but tomorrow. Thank you for joining today in this reading session. I hope you enjoy the journey. See you tomorrow. Bye.